The red-hot Mets coming up live against the Cubs. That's Francisco Lindor hitting over .350 in 5 games against the Cubs this season. The MLB on FS1 pregame show is sponsored by Geico. Out to Wrigley for the Mets and Cubs in just a moment. Hey, thanks for joining us on this Saturday with Eric Karros. I'm Chris Myers. A lot to get to as we're nearing the halfway point, about 5-6 games away from baseball's regular season. Let's begin with what's trending. And we'll start with the Atlanta Braves, who claimed their 4th straight win last night. They went deep 3 times against Carlos Rodon. The Yankees, still the best record in all of baseball, but they have lost 6 of their last 8. Shohei Ohtani hit a 455-foot homer against the Angels, first time back against his former team. The Angels rally, though, getting the last laugh, extra innings over the Dodgers, and the Mets continue to surge. They've now won 8 of their last 9. Start the day just 1 game out of a wild card spot in the crowded National League wild card race. And other than Atlanta, the other 9 teams in the hunt here are either at 500 or below that, and those 9 teams are separated by merely just 2 games to try and get 2 spots behind Atlanta. So how about this race, Eric? And other than Atlanta, is there somebody you can point to that's, I feel comfortable they'll get in and make a run?
Well, I don't want to be master of the obvious, but if you just look at those standings, you're going to see the San Diego Padres at the top right now. And I think they are the team that's probably most suited to make a deep run into the postseason. You look at their starting staff. You know, right now it's a bit depleted. Darvish is out right now, and so is Musgrove. But you take a look at Dylan Cease, you take a look at Waldron, the knuckleballer, Michael King as well. You get those 5 in a run in the postseason, I don't want to see those guys. And then the offense, Manny Machado starting to get hot, coupled with Jurickson Profar, Tatis, Cronenworth, and then you have Suarez at the end. But I think the wild card in all of this, Chris, is going to be A.J. Preller. You know he's going to make a splash. It's not going to just be for a middle reliever. And he knows the White Sox system, having dealt with Dylan Cease. Garrett Crochet is that big apple out there. Look for the Padres to make a move.
Yep, counting on that GM to make a move. And look, different team, different year, but we all saw what the Diamondbacks did last year, and get in and see what happens. We know one of these teams in the wild card hunt hopes to get in and make something happen. We just mentioned Lindor and his numbers and what they have been able to do. You know, he's a major reason why the Mets are, this is shocking news at this point, the hottest team in baseball. New York's star shortstop now in his 10th season already as a major leaguer recently sat down with our Alex Rodriguez to discuss his evolving perspective in New York.
You're now in your 4th year in New York. Tell me about the pressures and how different it is playing in a city like New York.
Wherever you are, there's always pressure. There's the outside pressure and then the pressure you put yourself. The difference between New York and Cleveland is, in Cleveland, I would go 0 for 35. And it was into 0 for 20 that I'm like hearing the outside noise. You go 0 for 8, you start hearing it. You are gonna go through times like that. However, you got to continue to keep your head down and grind and work.
Tell me a little bit about when you go through struggling times, how do you handle it at 30 versus when you were a young kid at 21 or 23 years old?
At 30, I know who I am. I've been through it. I have great times, I have bad times. So always understanding who I am. At 21, you're still trying to figure out who you are.
It's out of here! Francisco Lindor, an absolutely fabulous play by Francisco Lindor.
You've done so much in the game. You're a great ambassador of the game of baseball. At this point in your career, now 30, what fuels you every day?
Winning. Striving to achieve the ultimate goal of winning and being the best player you can be. I'm in the last stretch of my career, you know.
The back 9.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to maximize it. You know, God gave us the talent and ability to go out there, and I got to maximize it.
He drives one the other way, a base hit. Francisco Lindor with a walk-off 2-run hit.
Back 9 of the season. will tell the story for the Mets. But look what they've done, winning 12 of their last 15 and where they rank. So it's no fluke. They're not doing it by accident. They're doing the kinds of things, at least, that diehard Met fans expected them to do since June 3rd. Very, very impressive. And they've only lost once since Grimace threw out the ceremonial first pitch at Citi Field back on June 12th. That sparked a Game 7 win streak, and now New York has won 8 of its last 9, as we mentioned, making Grimace the official good luck charm. Grimace is usually the look you get when you ask a Met fan about how their team is doing. But this time, something positive. I kid. So how about the Mets? Lindor is one thing. Who else deserves credit for this surge?
Well, I'll tell you, Chris, it would have certainly been cheaper if it was just Grimace, right? At least for ownership. But, you talk about Lindor, who since moving to the leadoff spot has over a 900 OPS. Iglesias has been great since coming over. 11 games, he's hitting a little over 400. But the guy for me that's changed everything is J.D. Martinez. Now, he was that late acquisition. He missed spring training. But this is an accomplished hitter. This is somebody that impacts the rest of the lineup, not only with his smarts, but obviously with his physical ability. Adds also another power threat with Alonso in there. Since May 30th, he has an OPS of over 1,000. He's got 20 RBIs, 6 home runs. I saw what he did with the Dodgers last year, and again, how he impacts. You can't just measure it with statistics. He talks hitting. He'll talk approach. All of those sort of things have made a huge impact with these Mets.
Yeah, and moving Jeff McNeil kind of out of things, because where he was a year ago, so different. So if they're going to make a serious run and not just an appearance, what has to happen? You talked about some offense. Where are they on the pitching side of things?
Right, they're thin with the pitching, and that's something that is going to have to improve, is the pitching. And do they go out and get something? That's going to be the interesting part. If the Mets stay in this thing, which I anticipate they will, it's going to be pretty hard to sell to the fans, oh, we're going to trade Alonso, or we're going to get rid of Severino. I don't know that they can do that. Then they have to go out and acquire somebody. But do they make the big splash? Do they have enough to go deep into the postseason? They're going to determine that with their play over the next month and a half.
All right, well, let's get more on that. And let's welcome in our MLB insider, Ken Rosenthal. And the Mets recently on this hot streak. You just heard Eric talking about what they should do or might need to do. What can we expect? You're plugged in on this, Ken. Buyers, sellers before next month's trade deadline, and we're getting a lot closer here. It's July 30th.
Chris, it's June 22nd. They don't have to make any decision just yet. But what's interesting about the Mets is that they could do both. If they stay in the race, obviously, they're not going to concede and trade everyone. But they have starting pitching depth, which most teams do not have, of course. And you see today, Jesus Luzardo for the Marlins goes on the injured list. Patrick Sandoval from the Angels leaves his start last night with an injury. The Mets have this depth, and they could take advantage of it. They could trade Jose Quintana, or for an even bigger return, Luis Severino. Now, I know what Eric just said about staying in it, but they've got Senga coming back. They've got some guys in the minors, Christian Scott, Jose Budo. They could do all that and still maybe get a setup man and go forward with still a very competitive team.
Yeah, forgive us for talking about New York's other team before the Yankees, but they still do own the best record we mentioned despite the slump. Recently hitting a rough patch. What are the expectations for this Yankee team given where they are at the deadline? Again, I know we're a ways away, but people want to talk about it.
Chris, they're definitely going to be looking for bullpen help, as pretty much every team will. They don't have the striking stuff in the bullpen they ultimately would like to have. They want more swing and miss. The bigger question, though, is where they're going to be with their corner infield. Anthony Rizzo out till mid-August, at least with his broken arm. They're taking a look at Ben Rice, a rookie, a guy who 13th round draft pick out of Dartmouth a couple of years ago. And they've got DJ LeMahieu at third, who, of course, is a fixture there, but at the same time does not have an extra base hit since coming off the injured list at the end of May. So that is an area that could upgrade as well as in the bullpen.
All right, thanks a lot, Ken, and we'll see you later tonight at Yankee Stadium. We hope people tune in to Baseball Night in America. Most will see the Yankees hosting the Braves. Others will catch the Brewers and the Padres. Coverage beginning 7 Eastern on Fox. And the Yankees record, they've run into some pretty good teams here lately, even though they get Garrett Cole back, just kind of working his way back. 51 wins, still the best in baseball, 2 ahead of the Phillies, a half-game lead up on the Orioles in the division. So What about the Yankees? Where do they, at this point of the season, it's funny how we ride through. We're not even halfway yet, but you got the top teams in baseball. I think we were all thinking, hey, World Series are on their way after this recent run. Things change in a hurry.
Well, they do. And when you're talking about some of the top teams in baseball, obviously you're going to mention the New York Yankees. But interesting, just last week on this show, we're talking, are they the best team in baseball? And, obviously way too early, but there are some things that they need to address. Kenny mentioned the corners of the infield. I'd also say second base, you'd like to see more offense. But you look at these Yankees against the Baltimore Orioles, and so far this year, their record 2-5. Against the Dodgers, only 3 games, but 1-2, and that was at home. Against the Braves, 0-1. So against these teams that we expect to be in the postseason and to make a run, they're 3-8 right now. So is this a spell where they're struggling a bit and not? Probably, but there are some issues that they can definitely improve on, and those are something that they're going to have to, they address, but they're going to figure themselves out in this next month and a half.
Yeah, and they have a team in the division that's maybe the next team in baseball that would be the best in the American League, or at least among the best.
Well, the thing is they've got to win that division, and they're going to be fighting. It's not like the Dodgers where they feel like they've got a comfortable lead, or, I'd say that the Yankees, they're going to be going all the way to the very end, because the Orioles, they have the wherewithal to make a move at the break, and they get some starting pitching or a closer. I mean, look out, because that offense is ridiculous.
Yep, so not a lot of room for error for the Yankees. Quick check out a highlight from earlier today. White Sox likely to trade away some players. We're hearing at the Tigers, 4th inning. Paul DeYoung hits the Maeda pitch, and that brings in Luis Robert for a 1-0 advantage, now 2-0 in the 4th, Chicago leading the Tigers. Willie Mays, considered one of the greatest baseball players of all time, certainly would have my vote. He was an icon and a star among stars for the better part of 2 decades. The numbers staggering: 660 home runs, over 3,200 hits, and 1,900 RBI, and that just scratches the surface of what he's accomplished and what he did accomplish. Tom Rinaldi looks back at a man who was as likable as he was an outstanding talent.
Willie Mays, the all-around star of the San Francisco Giants.
That was him. We could watch and cheer and marvel, but mostly, we felt Willie Mays. There was a beauty and a purity in how he played that shaped every part of seeing him. That swing.
Way back, number 600 for Willie Mays.
Sudden and powerful to produce 660 home runs, a 302 career average, almost 3,300 hits.
Willie Mays gets his 3,000th base hit.
That glove, 12 gold gloves actually, flashing the range and the speed, catching the ball at his hip or over his shoulder.
I love defensing, and defensing to me is the key to playing baseball.
That swagger, from the way he threw out runners, to how he stole bases, to how long he endured, and how supremely he performed.
I play the same all the time, whether we're playing a Dodgers or playing anybody. I try to play my same brand of ball every day.
You can describe his career through the numbers and the accolades. World champion, 2-time MVP, 4-time home run leader, 24-time All-Star. But no cold metric or analytic contains that feeling that made us want to swing and throw and run and play like he did, just for the chance to share in the joy he radiated. Before the world wanted to be like Mike, it just wanted to say hey to the Say Hey kid. Now, we want nothing more than to say it ain't so. Not to have to say goodbye to Willie, to the kid, to the man, and to the feeling.
Baseball was a beautiful game. It was such a beautiful game that I just wanted to play it forever. I just had fun and enjoyed it.
He had such a likable connection with fans and players. I'm sure you've brushed up against his greatness at some point.
Yeah, many a times when I played with the Dodgers, we'd go up to San Francisco, and Tommy Lasorda, obviously very close to Willie Mays just over the years, and always would get together, and I always be part of that. And, you know, the thing, he'd always jokingly say, hey, EK, take it easy on us this weekend, or take it. For me, the thing about it is this guy is baseball royalty, right? One of the greats, but always acted just like a regular guy, just another baseball player. And that was probably one of the great things about him, is that he didn't take himself so serious, but he was one of the greatest that ever played.
Always so happy in life. I'm sure he's taken that with him. Gone at the age of 93, Willie Mays.
So I make it harder. Don't hold back. Galvanize.
Trajectory and balance look good. You're confirmed to go for orbit.
Every day, Michelin innovates to move the world forward on the road and far beyond. Michelin, motion for life.
Recipes. Recipes that are more than their ingredients. Recipes written by hand and lost to time can now be analyzed and restored using the power of Dell AI, preserving memories and helping to write new ones.
At Wendy's, you can get
an English muffin and seasoned potatoes for just $3.
with a light and fluffy toasted muffin.
And crispy potatoes, love.
Is this my breakfast? Yes, yes it is.
She bought it.
Grab a proper $3 Wendy's breakfast for a limited time.
This Charmin Ultra Soft Smooth Tear is so soft and so smooth.
Charmin Ultra Soft Smooth Tear has wavy perforations that tear so much better for a smooth, more enjoyable go. Charmin, enjoy the go.
Starbucks Frappuccino drinks. The feeling of a comforting hug from your Nana, but with the taste of creamy, delicious coffee.
My name's Jorge Gaviria, and this is my business, Hacienda. I chose my Spark Cash Plus card from Capital One because I earn unlimited 2% cash back on everything I buy. And with no preset spending limit, my purchasing power adapts to my business needs. What's in your wallet?
Tonight, in your spacious La Quinta suite, your eyes could use a break after a long day of seeing, things. But hey, free waffles always make you forget. Tonight, La Quinta. Tomorrow, you shine.
What's happening? It's a surprise. Did someone order a much better cake? I did. You know, I used to punt cake in college. Smell enough ice. Life's better with surprises.
On an 89-degree afternoon in Chicago, welcome to Major League Baseball on FS1 from Wrigley Field. Second of a three-game weekend series, the Chicago Cubs and the New York Mets. Mets coming off an 11-1 victory in the series opener yesterday afternoon. Kenny Albert along with Tom Bertucci, thanks so much for joining us. Yes, the Grimace has been the Mets' good luck charm ever since the ceremonial first pitch 10 days ago. The Mets have gone 8-1 over their last 9. Francisco Lindor will lead off for New York, followed by Brandon Nimmo, then J.D. Martinez. Middle of the order, Alonso, Stewart, and Marte, then Alvarez, McNeil, and Iglesias. Mets come in with a record of 36 and 38, one game out in the National League wild card race. And this afternoon at Wrigley, they will face the 32-year-old right-hander, Jameson Taillon.
He's coming off 2 really good starts, and he's facing, as you mentioned, to me, the hottest offense in the major leagues, at least over the last 9 games. Looking at his stuff, Jameson is a guy over the years, and especially this year, throwing fewer and fewer fastballs. The key for me is going to be that cutter you see there, because his fastball is almost always on the arm side of the plate. To get the ball on the other side of the plate, especially in on left-handed hitters, the cutter is going to have to play up today.
Tyone 3-3 at 11 starts. His second season with the Cubs. Defensively for Chicago, from left to right of the outfield, Happ, Crow, Armstrong, and Bellinger. Around the infield, Bush, Horner, Swanson, and Morrell. The battery of Tyone, and the longtime New York Met, Nito, behind the plate for the Cubs today. His first start with Chicago. So Francisco Lindor will lead things off for the Mets, who have outscored their opponents 62-28 over the last 9 games. Lindor has been a big part of it. Back in the leadoff spot for the Mets, batting .307 when leading off this season in 31 games. Mets got off to a quick start yesterday. 3 runs in the first inning, 3 more in the second. They scored all 11 of their runs over the first 4 innings.
Well, I think Francisco, you saw the numbers, has taken to this leadoff spot so well, in part because of takes like this. Career low chase rate this season, especially in the leadoff spot.
2-1 from Tyone. Swing and a miss by Lindor, now 2-2.
Yeah, that's the pitch he needs. That's the cutter. Didn't get this as far in as he wanted, but just enough. This is typically now a 4-seam fastball count for Jameson.
Lindor, 3 hits in 5 at-bats yesterday, the 2-2. And he strikes out Lindor. So 1 away here in the top of the first inning.
Went right back to the cutter, almost to the same spot. Now, you're not going to see a lot of swings and misses with Tyone. He works on getting the ball off the barrel of the bat, but he got one right there to get a hot hitter.
So now Brandon Nimmo steps in. 2 for 4 in yesterday's game with a home run. Scored 3 runs, takes a called strike, 0-1. Nimmo batting .333 over his last 16 games. He has 14 hits in his last 29 at-bats. Its Mets offense has awoken. Spoke with manager Carlos Mendoza. He said, I knew at some point they would come out of it. The 0-2, Tyone missing low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. There's Craig Counsell in the Cubs dugout. Cubs with a record of 36-40 following the 11-1 loss yesterday. Now the 2-2 from Tyone. 2 up, 2 down, 2 strikeouts to start this game.
Are we sure that's Jameson Tyone out there with these swings and misses? You just saw his strikeout rate, one of the lowest in the major leagues. He's not had a game with more than 12 swings and misses all year. You see the numbers, and he comes out looking like vintage Kerry Wood.
Strikes out Lindor and Nimmo. Here's J.D. Martinez, who also went deep yesterday, one of 3 Mets home runs. Martinez, the reigning National League Player of the Week. Like many of his teammates, he has been hot as of late as well. And there's a base hit into left center. So a 2-out base runner for the Mets here in the first.
I don't know how Pete Crow Armstrong stopped that ball. I mean, he is a fabulous defender in center field, and he tried to close ground and then realized very late here, actually got a step late to the jump here. And watch this. That ball is literally past him when he just recovered enough to keep JD at first base.
Crow Armstrong, former first-round pick by the Mets. So with 2 away, runner on first, here's Pete Alonso, working on a 6-game hitting streak. Leads the Mets in home runs, tied with Nimmo for the lead in runs batted in with 42. Alonso pops it to the right side, foul territory. Bush makes the catch, and that will end the inning.
USAA? You were in the military? No, my grandpa was. He passed membership to my mom, then me. Huh. Yeah, if your spouse, parent, or grandparent served, they could pass it to you. I'll check it out.
USAA, for the military community and their families.
We've never spoken, but you've told us many things. That you love stargazing, hate parallel parking, and occasionally your right foot gets a little heavy. The Lexus ES didn't begin in the studio, it began with you.
Whether you're doing it yourself or hiring a pro, today, let's paint. Exclusively at the Home Depot.
From medium rare to well done. So many ways to save. Life ready, wallet happy. That's 365 by Whole Foods Market.
When you're traveling with 3 kids and pretty much everything they own,
Hi, guys. Welcome.
it matters where you stay. Hilton for the stay.
More dropping in. More getting out there. More soaking it up. Pacifico, life's waiting.
To help save for our home, we stopped going on trips and giving each other expensive gifts. We handmade them instead. That one took me 3 weeks. Getting pre-qualified for a home loan is easier. Only took like 3 minutes. It's you.
It's me.
Purina is supporting more touch therapy dogs to make a difference in the lives of more kids, like me. Purina cares here.
Welcome back. Nico Horner leads off for the Cubs. Bottom of the first inning, facing the 28-year-old right-hander Tyler McGill. 7th start of the season, record of 2-3, missed nearly 2 months due to a strained right shoulder.
Yeah, interesting matchup for me today. The Cubs obviously been struggling offensively. They really struggle against breaking stuff. Well, against McGill, as you can see, you're going to see almost 70% fastballs between the fastball and the cutter. And you saw Nico Horner giving you a little preview. Attack fastballs early in the count. That's the game plan.
Horner 0 for 3 yesterday, struck out twice. Only 4 hits in his last 28 at bats. Cubs as a team struggling offensively. There's 9 wins over their last 27 games. 1-1 from McGill. This is low, ball 2. Horner, Bush, and Bellinger for Chicago here in the bottom of the first inning. 2-1 from McGill to Horner, missing inside, 3-1. McGill facing the Cubs for the 2nd time in his career. Lasted only 3 2/3 in a start last May at Wrigley in a 7-2 Cubs victory. And he walks Horner, so the leadoff man is on for the Cubs here in the first. Michael Bush will step in, then Bellinger. Middle of the order, Suzuki, Happ, and Morel, then Swanson, Crow, Armstrong, and Nito. Nico Horner takes his lead off first. And the pitch to Bush, swing and a miss, 0-1.
It's a better adjustment on the fastball right away. You saw from McGill losing the ball on the arm side. Typically, he's at his best when that four-seamer is right where you just saw it there. Top of the zone, right where that target is.
Now 1-1 Bush, one of the Cubs who has been hot as of late. Adding 367 during the month of June. 8-game hit streak came to an end yesterday. Leadoff walk to Horner. And now the 1-1 to Bush. 2 balls, 1 strike.
So that same kind of run on that fastball. He doesn't want so much run on that four-seamer. That tells you he's getting a little bit to the side of that pitch.
Two balls, two strikes with Cody Bellinger waiting on deck. Cubs and Mets on a Saturday afternoon at Wrigley. McGill checks the runner. And now the 2-2. Bounce to the right side. Alonso to second for the out as they get the lead runner Horner. The Mets defensively in the outfield. Stewart, Nimmo, Marte from left to right. Alonso at first, McNeil at second, Lindor at short, Iglesias another start at third. Alvarez behind the plate.
Sometimes, Kenny, when you play shortstop like Lindor, you have to play it like a first baseman. That's what he did on that play. He did a great job securing the out with the stretch, staying on the bag.
Well, Bush, the runner at first, as the pitch gets away from Alvarez, and Bush is now in scoring position.
Similar pattern. We saw it early, losing these four-seamers to arm side. He's just not completely behind the baseball with his hand and wrist, and that's where you get the run. And if you're a catcher, there's really not much you can do when a pitcher misses by that much with a fastball. You just don't have enough time to get the glove on it enough to stop it.
Bellinger 2 for 3 in yesterday's game. Batting .268 on the season.
That's when borderline pitch 50-50 call goes Bellinger's way. You just have to look for the ball away now if you're Bellinger.
McGill missing away, ball 3.
This is where you trust Bellinger to swing the bat. Definitely green light territory, fastball count. You just pick a spot, and if it's not in that spot, you let it go.
The 3-0 from McGill. Grounded foul off to the right side, now 3-1.
Yeah, I mean, he was clearly looking middle in. He just didn't get a fastball. Just the cutter here gets far enough off the barrel. I like the approach, though, by Bellinger.
Now the 3-1 in for a called strike, and the count is full.
I'm already seeing more sliders than McGill typically throws in a game. Usually only about 10% with those sliders. We mentioned Chicago's not been good against spin.
Payoff pitch, Bellinger got a piece of it. One out, Bush the runner on second. Suzuki on deck.
Yeah, interesting pitch here, Kenny. You know, coming into this game on full counts, McGill, he's a fastball pitcher in general, but on full counts, 33 of his 35 pitches have been fastballs or cutters. So what does he throw Bellinger? Split. Got first base open, right-handed hitter on deck.
Another foul off to the right side. Eighth pitch of this at-bat upcoming. McGill missing high and away, ball 4, second walk of the inning. Issued by McGill, and the Cubs now have runners on first and second with only one out.
Boy, he just did not want to throw him a 3-2 fastball. It's his best pitch, and he stayed away from it with the base open. And give Bellinger credit, because the biggest change in his game last year was becoming a great two-strike hitter. Only Luis Arraez was better last year with 2 strikes. And here's the pitching mound visit now by Jeremy Hefner, the Mets pitching coach. I think this has a lot to do with mechanics right here to get him straightened out. He's going to need that 4-seam fastball and command of it to get through this game. He hasn't found it yet. So far, 9 4-seam fastballs, just 3 in the zone. And if I'm Suzuki, Kenny, I'm sitting on that 4-seam fastball right here. Don't let him get ahead.
Suzuki went deep in his only career at bat against McGill. Misses low, ball 1. Only team in Major League Baseball batting under 200 with runners in scoring position. Still only 1 out. 20th pitch of the inning. And Suzuki with a base hit into left center. Grounding third. And coming home is Bush. The Cubs take a 1-0 lead. RBI number 28 off the bat of Seiya Suzuki.
You know, it's hard to get through any top of the lineup when you don't have your best pitch. And that's what McGill is trying to do here. You saw the first pitch fastball. He overcorrected and pulled the 4-seamer. Goes to the cutter. Now behind on the count, and that got a lot of the plate. Nice job by Suzuki.
Suzuki drives home Bush. Cubs now with runners on the corner. Still only 1 out for Ian Happ. Happ 0 for 3 yesterday. Struck out twice. And at second safely is Suzuki. His 7th steal of the season.
I was surprised even Alvarez threw this ball. That was a huge jump. Going first move. This is all done pregame. You got a pitcher out there struggling just to get the ball over the plate, paying no attention to the runner. The high leg kick. That base was stolen from the very first step. And with the runner on third, that's a little risky.
Now second and third, 1 out. And a strike call, 0-2. Happ with 10 hits in his last 20 at-bats.
You saw the infield back right there. Interesting call with 1 out. A lot of teams were more aggressive. No outs deep, 1 out in.
Cubs with a run on 1 hit, 2 walks issued by McGill here in the bottom of the first inning. And now the 0-2. Missing away, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And if you watch Alvarez back there, he has to move his glove so much on these 4-seamers. He wanted that one up and in, and it was out well off the plate again. So if you're happy, you've been paying attention, again, you really haven't seen anything to the glove side of the plate. Looking for something out and over the plate.
The 1-2, bounced up the middle. Throw to first. Cubs take a 2-0 lead as Bellinger scores on the ground ball to the right side.
That's good hitting by Happ. Put the ball in play with the infield back. Make sure you get that run in. Almost got a little more, except a great pick over here at first base by Alonso. You see Lindor just gave a courtesy check at home. That's kind of an in-between hop. Pete Alonso does a nice job. Watch the glove work through the baseball. Thanks for picking me up, bud.
Here's Burrell, first pitch, base hit center field. And the Cubs take a 3-0 lead.
Morel's been scuffling lately, especially sliders and cutters away, but look at the location. He's designed to an aggressive hitter to almost be out of the strike zone, certainly well on the outside part of the plate. Center cut.
Morel back in at first. With Dansby Swanson at the plate. Carlos Mendoza's Mets allowing 3 runs in the bottom of the first. They scored 3 in the first in yesterday's game. Base hit down the line into the left field corner. Here comes Morel, and it's now 4-0 Chicago.
Aggressive hitting. Dansby Swanson has never seen a fastball he didn't like. He sees one early and gets right on top of it. It's been the story of his career. Excellent fastball hitter. Morel able to score from first base and a double down into the corner easily.
Bunted foul off the bat of Pete Crow. Armstrong 0-1.
I'm not in love with that decision. 2 outs and a runner on second base. The number 9 hitter behind you. Pitcher on the mound scuffling. I know the bunt is part of his game, but the timing just wasn't right for that decision. Maybe Craig Counsell just read a note to himself to bring it up to PCA. PCA about picking the right spots.
Now 1-1 Crow Armstrong, first round pick of the Mets back in 2020. Sent to the Cubs in July of 21 of the Javier Baez deal. Pitch number 30 from McGill, throw down to second. And Swanson is back in.
Now Alvarez is just trying to bail his pitcher out of the inning. How can we get the third out here? Make eye contact with Lindor. He wants to throw. He's got a great arm.
Two 2-1 from McGill, and this is ripped into the right field corner. Swanson scores easily, and the Cubs now lead 5-0. And Crow Armstrong is in at third.
Carter left up in the zone. This inning has just been a cascade of mistakes with command. Wild out of the strike zone with the fastball. Wild in the zone with the cutter. Cubs taking advantage.
Second triple of the season for Pete Crow Armstrong. Cubs will now send their ninth batter of the inning to the plate. It's the former Met, Tomas Nido.
Another mound visit, the second of this inning, and that's designed to get somebody up in the bullpen. As you see the pitch count at 31, any number that gets above 30 in a singular inning will concern the manager and the pitching coach. And that's a look of concern right there.
And it's Danny Young, recalled earlier today. Left-hander up and throwing in the Mets pen. Mets place Sean Reed Foley on the injured list. Placed on the roster by Danny Young. Nido joined the Cubs on Wednesday. Spent the last 7+ years wearing a Mets uniform. 12.5 seasons in the Mets organization. This is second at bat as a Cub. He pinch hit yesterday. Played in 32 games with the Mets this season. One from McGill. And fouled off by his former battery mate. Now 1-2.
It's a good stop by Alvarez. It's one reason why that one knee form is, it's risky. Runner on third base, 2 strikes, and you call that slider to the side where your knee is on the ground. You just don't have a lot of range, so you have to be a first baseman. You just literally can't get your body in front of it. He was able to snag it on the backhand.
Ball back to the screen, so the count remains 2-2 on Nito. The last 3 Cub hitters, Tom, with a single, a double, and a triple in order. Morel, Swanson, and Pro Armstrong. Hill has now thrown 37 pitches in the bottom of the first inning.
And if this is not a strike, it may be his last.
Payoff pitch. Right center. Long run for Marte. He makes the catch, and that will finally end the inning. The Cubs score 5 in the bottom of the first.
Looking for the perfect grill? Find yours at Ace, where the perfect grill comes with free assembly and delivery. Find a Weber, Big Green Egg, Traeger, or Blackstone, and get the one that's right for you. Only at your local Ace.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Refresh your senses with a kick of citrus flavor. Do the do.
Every Saturday, your game is on Fox. Because here, we got the swag, the scoops, the smiles, the steals. We got the pop, the rips, the threads, the wheels. We got the slides, the kicks, the shovels, the feels. Wow. Because Saturdays on Fox, we got you. No big deal.
Cold lagered, cold filtered, cold packaged. Coors Light. Choose chill.
The gods have spoken. You need a new, clean, heavenly body wash with Native.
To truly embrace the fine life, you must learn to let go. Bienvenidos a la vida más fina.
When you dare to combine sweet and tart, you get a sweet tart throat that's so sweet, you'll pucker. Sweet tarts, dare to combine.
One is long gone. Back to the track. Throw is not in time. Top of the second inning in Chicago. Kenny Albert, Tom Verducci comes out to a 5-0 lead as DJ Stewart takes a called strike from Jameson Taillon, who has been sitting around for quite some time.
Happily so. As long as you get 5 runs, it's worth the wait. And I'll tell you, he's normally a strike thrower anyway, about 66% strikes. You hand a pitcher like Taillon's 5-0 lead, he's coming right at you. And how about this, Kenny? That's 17 pitches so far in this game. every one has been a fastball, either fastball or a cutter. Cut fastballs, four-seamer sinkers. That's it.
Two to Stewart, and a strikeout number 3 for Tyone.
And the fifth swing and miss. Yeah, he said just like that. Stay behind that four-seamer. That's his best pitch, especially on that side of the plate. Very rarely will you see it on the glove side, but he commands it so well. Keep it out of the center cut.
So with one away, here's Starling Marte. Batting .357 over his last 15 games. And he falls behind in the count, 0-1. Got a role reversal from yesterday's game when the Mets scored 3 in the first, 3 in the second. Led 6-1 after 2 innings, 11-1 after 4. Cubs with 5 runs in the first off Tyler McGill this afternoon.
Took 21 pitches into the game for Tyone to show spin. That's kind of old school starting pitching. Establish the fastball, then work off it.
Ground ball to the third baseman Morrell, fires across, quickly 2 away. Here's the Mets catcher, Francisco Alvarez. One of 3 Mets to go deep in yesterday's game. Alvarez working on a 5-game hitting streak. First pitch from Tyone, in for strike 1.
Now we know he's got big time power. He's about 154 games into his career, about a full season, 28 home runs. And his power, to me, Kenny, is in a big part of the ball field. You know, left center to right center. It's not just pull side power. He can hit it out anywhere.
And the wind is blowing out at Wrigley this afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, Shota Imanaga found out yesterday. There's literally, as Don Zimmer used to say, 2 different ballparks. You see the flags right there. There's Wrigley 1 and Wrigley 2, depending whether the wind's blowing in, as it usually does early in the season, or out, as it does in the summer months.
1-2, and Alvarez is down on strikes. 4th strikeout for Tyone, 1-2-3 second.
With wet AMD, I worry I'm not only losing my sight, but my time to enjoy it. But now, I can open up my world with Vabysmo. Vabysmo is the first FDA-approved treatment for people with wet AMD that improves vision and delivers a chance for up to 4 months between treatments, so I can do more of what I love. Vabysmo works differently. It's the only treatment designed to block 2 causes of wet AMD.
Vabysmo is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection, active eye swelling, or are allergic to it. Treatments like Vabysmo can cause an eye infection or retinal detachment. Vabysmo may cause a temporary increase in eye pressure after receiving the injection. There is an uncommon risk of heart attack or stroke associated with blood clots. Severe swelling of blood vessels in the eye can occur. Most common eye side effects were cataract and broken blood vessels.
Open up your world with Vabysmo.
A chance for up to 4 months between treatments with Vabysmo. Ask your doctor.
Sup?
Who are you?
I'm your inner child. Get in. Listen, what you really need in life is some freaking torque. Power shot!
The Dodge Hornet RT. The totally torqued out crossover.
Right now during the Dodge Make This the Summer event, get no monthly payments for 90 days on all 2024 Dodge brand vehicles. Go to Dodge.com and hurry to your local Dodge dealer today.
Sunday, it's the Summer of Stars as the U.S. hosts the world's best players for Copa America. The U.S. men's team looks to make an historic run with Pulisic, McKennie, Weah as the Stars and Stripes put everything on the line. USA's back, baby! It's time to break out the red, white, and blue. This is no friendly. This is the championship of the Americas. USA versus Bolivia, Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern on Fox.
Welcome back. Tyler McGill allowed 5 runs in the first inning. He threw 38 pitches and facing 9 Cubs batters.
Yeah, that top line there tells a story. 21 four-seam fastball is just 11 strikes. That's his best pitch. He's a big guy, obviously. He's a long strider. Even for his height, he gets well down the mound. But if he's not in sync, and right now to me he's not in sync with his upper body, that's when you're going to start spraying those four-seamers.
Nico Horner leading off for the second straight inning. Walked his first time up. Horner, then Bush, then Bellinger. With the Cubs leading by 5.
I like those 2 calls. When a guy is struggling with his timing, throwing the curveball, we've got a substitution here. The curveball forces you to be on time a little bit slower.
Brandon Nimmo now in left field with Taylor in center.
Think about a pitcher's delivery. It's 2 rotations, the bottom half and then the top half comes around. And if the top half is a little too quick, that was much better. That's where you lose command. And it's always more difficult the taller you are to keep those parts in sync. It took Randy Johnson years to get that 6'11" frame on time.
Payoff pitcher called, strike 3.
And this is much better command. Stays behind the baseball. There's no run. You see the difference there? Those early fastballs he was throwing were moving to arm side. That one just stayed on plane, kept his hand behind the baseball. It's a good adjustment.
Here's Michael Bush with 1 out, bottom of the second inning. And the other change time, DJ Stewart has moved to right field, stalling Marte out of the game. We'll pass along information as soon as we become aware.
Yeah, maybe it was something when he was chasing down that last out by Nito. You saw a lot of curveballs here, and I like it, whether it was Hefner in between innings or Alvarez. This is going to help him get the fastball command back. To me, the curveball is putting his timing back into his delivery. He's more in sync. I mean, he was 1 pitch away from Carlos Mendoza having to go to his bullpen in the first inning and wearing out the bullpen. Now his job is provide some length.
There's the 1-2 to Bush. Missing away, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Marte has been battling some knee issues over the last couple of weeks. Two from McGill, called strike 3.
Yeah, I want to see the change he made with his delivery this year. He's going to show you that the release point is slightly lower because he's more down on his front side. Watch the release here, how flat his back is. See how much lower the back is? The head is lower, getting through the baseball better. That one on the right this year, just kind of working into his delivery more. And you're starting to see that now. These last few fastballs have been much, much better than what we saw in the first inning.
Bellinger walked his first time up. McGill has struck out the first two batters he has faced here in the second inning, Warner and Bush. Through 38 pitches, matching his uniform number in inning number 1. Suzuki on deck should Bellinger reach. Pitch from McGill in for a called strike.
That was a 3-0 strike. On no other count is this pitch a strike. And he has been very careful with fastball usage against Bellinger today in these two at-bats.
There's a 3-1 strike.
Wow. Nice job by Alvarez working up, but Bellinger's thinking, my goodness, I'm sitting here in a full count. I haven't seen a pitch in the zone yet.
Good Carapaz of the home plate umpire. Time is called. Bellinger has faced 13 pitches in his two at-bats. Walked in the first inning. And now a full count here in the second. McGill delivers, and Bellinger walks for the second time this afternoon. Well, coming up July 16th on Fox, baseball's biggest stars take center stage deep in the heart of Texas. The Midsummer Classic 2024 All-Star Game, July 16th on Fox.
Not the most graceful way to get back to the base, so Billy figured, well, I might as well just really sell it.
and then chuckles about it.
Watch the belly flop right here.
Literally, by Bellinger. The belly flop. Suzuki singled in a run his first time up. Cubs 5 runs in the first inning, after losing 11-1 yesterday. Suzuki has now reached safely in 10 consecutive games following his first inning single.
I wouldn't be totally shocked if Bellinger ran here. I mean, McGill is slow to the plate, as most big guys are. You say the score is 5-0, but it's only the second inning. Keep playing baseball. He saw it. He was going. He thought he had him timed. It's a good job by Bellinger. You got your eye on the pitcher. You think there's a certain cadence where he holds and goes, but he held it a little longer. Otherwise, he was going.
Speaking of base running, Bellinger's dad, Clay, played against the Mets in the 2000 World Series. He was a member of the New York Yankees. And in Game 1, he entered as a pinch runner. Played in 3 other games during that World Series against the Mets as a defensive replacement. Now the 1-2 to Suzuki. Now 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Now a firefighter out in Arizona, right?
He is.
Play Bellinger. Good call by Carapazza right there. One of that, really, McGill has not thrown as many four-seamers up as he typically does. Usually you'll see a lot of high targets from Alvarez.
2-2, and Suzuki fouls it back.
Was running.
Clay Bellinger is a firefighter, still enjoys throwing batting practice to his son Cody during the offseason. Eighth pitch of the at-bat. McGill missing low and away, and the count is full.
Tough job for Alvarez. You're calling a game with a pitcher who, let's face it, just still does not have his best A+ fastball. So you don't have that go-to pitch in your pocket.
Check down with the first base umpire, Alex Tosi. He did call it strike 3. Craig Counsell does not agree.
This was a late call.
If you're living with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis or active psoriatic arthritis, symptoms can sometimes take you out of the moment. Now there's Skyrizi. So you can show up with clearer skin and show it off.
Nothing is everything.
With Skyrizi, you could take each step with 90% clearer skin. And if you have psoriatic arthritis, Skyrizi can help you get moving with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, had a vaccine, or plan to.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and less joint pain. And that means everything. Ask your doctor about how Skyrizi could help with your skin or joint symptoms. Learn how AbbVie could help you save.
I always knew I wanted to pursue a career in music. And throughout that path, I've eaten Taco Bell. It allows me to free up money and time to do what I love to do.
Refresh your senses with a kick of citrus flavor. Do the do.
If you feel like things don't add up right now, you're not alone. So we've lowered the price on hundreds of your favorite products. Because when the cost of living goes up, we find new ways to go low. It's why we're here. That's a promise, not a promo.
This is the mark of a fighter. A rich, full-flavored lager with a crisp, refreshing taste.
Top of the 3rd inning with the Cubs leading the Mets 5-0. Jeff McNeil, no hits in his last 7 at-bats, facing Jameson Taillon. Cubs with 5 runs in the first off Tyler McGill. McNeil, Iglesias, and Lindor for the Mets here in the 3rd. And McNeil shoots this one into shallow center field, 1 away.
Let's go back to that last strike called, by the way, on Seiya Suzuki. Obviously out of the strike zone. Watch the home plate umpire, Vic Carapazza. He's going to point to the batter, meaning that's a swing. I got that call, you're out. And Craig Counsell basically said, what? As did Suzuki. I don't blame him. I don't think it was a swing. But the home plate umpire called it himself, said he saw a swing. I mean, that's a relatively big call because McGill was bailed out of that inning. Otherwise, it's 1st and 2nd.
Jose Iglesias at the plate, 4 hits in yesterday's game. And when we spoke with his manager, Carlos Mendoza, he just gushed about what Iglesias has brought to the Mets, both on and off the field.
Well, especially on the field, the bat has definitely been playing. It was actually after the game yesterday, as you mentioned, 4 hits, where Carlos Mendoza told him, you're in the lineup tomorrow. And Mark Vientos has done a nice job as the everyday third baseman. This guy, you can't keep him out of the lineup.
Ordered to first, 2 away. And Mendoza telling us that Iglesias has brought a presence, an energy. He's done it on the field, as you mentioned. He said his teammates feed off that energy. And he called him a really good surprise for us.
You know what? I heard the same things from Brandon Hyde when Jose was with the Orioles a couple of years ago. Just a great influencer in that clubhouse. A lot of energy, optimism, upbeat.
Lindor to the second baseman, Horner. And that will do it for the Mets. in the third.
Hey, man. You like Dr. Pepper?
And its unique blend of 23 flavors.
It's a pepper thing.
Let your voice be heard with the 2024 MLB All-Star Ballot presented by BuildSubmarines.com.
Boy, that was hit a ton.
That's right. You get to decide who represents your team at the MLB All-Star Game presented by MasterCard this summer in Arlington.
Oh, what a shot. He has a feel for the moment, doesn't he? And he makes the play.
So make your picks today at MLB.com/vote.
Will and I are honored to have you all here as our summer interns.
Affleck and Damon, the Dunk Kings, are not here.
What does that big Dunkin' Ice button do?
Let's see. Okay. A lot of surprises.
Let's put a Dunkin' Ice in every hand this summer.
Love is all that I can give to you. Love is more than just a game for two.
With Chewy AutoShip, get their favorite toy delivered again and again.
Did you know Cheez-It made extra toasty?
Of course. Want it, need it, Cheez-It.
You cost more, and you cost more, and you cost more, and you cost more.
Buffalo Wild Wings now has all-you-can-eat boneless wings and fries? Yeah, they're gonna regret that, because I'm gonna eat them all.
Altoids. Curious. Want more baseball? Just tell Siri. Show me the upcoming MLB schedule.
Welcome back. Kenny Albert, Tom Verducci, bottom of the third inning. Cubs leading the Mets by the score of 5-0. Tyler McGill settled down in the second inning after throwing 38 pitches in the first, allowed 5 runs, struck out the side, also walked a batter in the second.
That was a great shot we had at the bleachers here at Wrigley. Is there anything better than sitting in the bleachers at Wrigley on a Saturday afternoon in the summer? I mean, that's quintessential America right there. I mean, this is a baseball cathedral. But it would be like, going to St. Pat's in New York City during the week. It's nothing like being there on a Sunday for actual mass. I feel that way about the bleachers at Wrigley on a Saturday afternoon. Be it here at night, it's great, it's fun. But this is where it's at. Day baseball, Wrigley Field. I don't care how hot it is.
Whenever we are at Wrigley, we're usually working up in the press box, broadcast booth, or down on the field. Have you ever actually had the opportunity to sit in the bleachers?
Yeah, both in the bleachers and the lower bowl. I've done that. It's just awesome. The bleachers, it's actually a really good seat. And just the camaraderie you feel with the people around you. You become part of the club instantly.
Happ down on strikes. Strikeout number 4. Tyler McGill. Big day tomorrow, celebrating this. 40 years ago tomorrow, the Sandberg game.
One of the most famous games in this iconic ballpark. That was a Saturday game of the week on NBC TV. The game that kind of rocked the world because nobody hit Bruce Sutter. Ryan Sandberg, the only one ever with 2 home runs in a game off of Bruce Sutter, and both were game-tying home runs in the 9th inning and extra innings.
The Cubs trailed the Cardinals in that game 7-1, 9-3, 11-9. Here's Morel. Speaking of going deep, on cue. His 14th of the season. The Cubs now lead 6-0.
That's for you, Rhino. A salute to the Cubs Hall of Fame second baseman, Ryne Sandberg. That's what you do. You put it in the bleachers on a Saturday afternoon at Wrigley. Wow. 446. Well, listen, we talked about the flags. They're blowing out to left field. I get it, but that baseball was tagged.
Only the second home run allowed by McGill in his 7 starts this season. They will unveil a Ryne Sandberg statue tomorrow. The Hall of Famer. There's his number 23. Bob Costas and Tony Kubek were calling that game on NBC.
Yeah, what's interesting about that, back in the day, as you know, those games of the week were huge. They were putting up ratings in the 6s. I mean, bigger than some World Series games we've seen in recent years. Of course, the media landscape is totally different, but you wanted to see a team outside of your city, you had to watch the game of the week. And that was the first time, actually, because NBC got exclusive rights to Saturday games that year. It was the first time that WGN did not broadcast a Cubs game at Wrigley since 1947. And the world was watching that one, that Sandberg game. You know, it's a big game. It's your name is on it.
Right, I mean, back during the mid-'80s, cable TV was just becoming popular, and you would primarily get the games of your home team or home teams in certain cities, New York, Chicago, Los Angeles. The Saturday game of the week on NBC as Swanson is called out on strikes, and Monday Night Baseball on ABC. That was appointment television.
You know, I've watched that entire game, and it was just a joy to watch. To me, it was baseball in the 80s. There were more than 100 plate appearances in that game. There were only 14 strikeouts. There were Hall of Famers all over on the field and in the broadcast booth. The game was played at a fast pace. The ball was in play. Cool uniforms, too.
40 years ago tomorrow.
That's hard to believe, yes.
Crow Armstrong tripled in a run back in the first inning.
And Kenny, that's kind of the year when, and I know they celebrated the '84 team before this game today, when the Cubs became like the Cubs in terms of being just so culturally important to the whole city of Chicago. Not that they hadn't had good teams before, but there was something about that team because they weren't expected to do well. The team had been down for a while. And that team captured the imagination of this city, and the attendance ever since then has been skyrocketing.
The 1-2, and Crow Armstrong is down on strikes. Cubs extend their lead. Morel goes deep in honor of number 23, Ryne Sandberg.
First class of the day. And no charger? You're playing a dangerous game. But I guess battery death is just a part of battery life. You get used to it, grow numb to it.
It's a Mac. The battery lasts all day. See you next week.
I hate these chairs.
All right, let's eat. Game on, fellas. Oh, can I get my Pepsi Zero Sugar?
I got you.
Thanks.
Nice.
Yeah, that's cool. Just the drink.
There he is.
Yes. No. Ron. Wait.
There we go.
Let's go. I'll just grab it myself.
Hold on.
Right now at Jersey Mike's, earn a $25 off Fanatics promo code for every $25 you spend through the app when you add chips and a drink.
With Cascade Platinum Plus, I have upped my dish game.
Auntie, in that dishwasher.
Watch me.
Platinum Plus gives you the highest standard of clean, even in your machine.
Clean enough for you?
Yeah.
Scrape, load, done. Cascade Platinum Plus.
Refresh your senses with a kick of citrus flavor. Do the do.
Tonight, in your spacious La Quinta suite, your eyes could use a break after a long day of seeing, things. But hey, free waffles always make you forget. Tonight, La Quinta. Tomorrow, you shine.
Michelin innovates once more with Michelin acoustic technology, reducing cabin noise by cushioning road vibrations. Michelin, motion for life.
Top of the fourth inning with the Cubs leading 6-0. Brandon Nimmo leading off for New York. How about the number of pitches thrown by the two starters over the first 3 innings?
And the efficiency, the strike percentage by Tyone.
Nimmo with a base hit into right center. Tyone retired the Mets on 8 pitches in the 3rd inning. And now the leadoff man is on in the 4th. We take you back just 10 days ago, the ceremonial first pitch thrown by the Grimace. And since that time, the Mets have gone on to win 8 of their last 9 games.
Grimace has a good short arm swing. You know, he's like Lucas Giolito, short arm swing. I don't know why he's got a left-hander's glove. He throws right-handed. First of all, I never even knew what it was until this week. Did you know he's a taste bud?
I did not until this week as well.
It's a thing. I mean, you play like this. Yeah, of course. Today it's a small Grimace for the New York Mets so far, but who knew?
Back-to-back base hits here in the 4th inning.
And all you'd have to do is show a graphic with Grimace and the base hits are flying. Grimace is amazing. The legend grows. And it's portable. We're on the road here. Grimaces abound.
When you ask the question, who knew? I guess Ray Kroc would have known, the former owner of the San Diego Padres, who was the CEO of McDonald's back in the late 60s, early 70s.
Those are ride or die buds. I mean, imagine your buddy says to you, we're going to a Mets game. Hey, I got a great idea. I'm like, no thanks. You're on your own.
The Mets fans have certainly had fun with it over the last 2 weeks. Alonso fouled out his first time up. Mets threatening here in the 4th. Runners on first and second with nobody out.
Well, it's kind of good that Grimace gets his moment in the sun, right? All these years it's been, let's face it, Ronald McDonald's a huge star. The Hamburglar, people love him.
Here's Swanson, flip to second, on to first, safe. Alonso beats the throw. So the Mets have runners on the corners with 1 out.
I'm not sure if Horner got a really good grip on the pivot here. Yeah, he definitely beat it. The throw just didn't have quite the same zip you'd normally see.
So with runners on first and third, here's DJ Stewart, struck out his first time up back in the 2nd inning. And Stewart fouls it back. 0-1. Nimmo the runner on third. Alonso over at first.
Well, in New York, You just have to put the ball in play here, big part of the field. Down 6, it's a matter. Just cash in 1 here. Put a point on the board.
And runs have not been an issue for the Mets as of late. They've scored at least 10 runs 5 times in their last 19 games. Over their last 5 games coming into this one, they've averaged 9. 46 runs their last 5. The Mets entered the month of June, Tom, minus 35 in run differential. On the season, they are now a +3. That was prior to today's game. Now trailing 6-0. And Stewart fouls it back, 2-2.
Right, you see his reaction. He knew he got exactly the kind of pitch that he could drive in the air to the big part of the ballpark. And just fouled it back. And you hope you get another one. Typically, you won't. That was a mistake by Taillon.
Now the 2-2. Taillon and Mets manager Carlos Mendoza spent a couple of years together with the Yankees. Mendoza was the bench coach working with Aaron Boone. And we asked him earlier about Taillon. He said you have to go up there with conviction against him.
Well, normally I would start the runner, but today he's had a lot of swings and misses, so I would not start the runner here at full count.
There's the payoff pitch, and Stewart is down on strikes, now 2 away.
That's 10 swings and misses for Jameson. Again, the season high is 12. And we're only in the 4th inning. 3-2 curveball. Well located. That's the empty at bat really needed to avoid.
Here's Tyrone Taylor batting for the first time. Replaced Starling Marte, who left with knee soreness. Listen to every MLB game live, plus watch the minor leagues, MLB Big Inning, and available pre and post games, no blackouts. Visit MLB.com/@bat for details. Young fan will go home with a souvenir. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. The 0-1 to Taylor, missing low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Taylor batting .237 in 56 games this season. Spent the last 5 years with the Milwaukee Brewers. Now 1-2.
He's a good hitter. He's just never really had a full runway where you know you're in the lineup every day. I'm seeing right here, he will battle you, especially with runners on base, give you a good at bat.
Ball strike 3. Mets strand 2 in the 4th.
Welcome to Nada Yada Island.
Things started off great, but once the new wore off,
They changed.
in the beginning, I got gifts like a phone.
And then next thing you know, it's like I'm invisible.
So I switched up and got me a new phone carrier.
Don't put up with wireless yada yada. Now with Metro, get that new customer feeling again and again. Introducing Metro Flex. Free 5G phones when you join, same deals as new customers when you stay. Only at Metro.
Ready for the road trip. Everyone comfortable?
Yep, there's plenty of space. I've even got an extra seat.
Wait, no.
Extra seat!
Let's just let them out.
The Volkswagen Atlas. With 3 rows and seating for 7, everyone wants a ride.
Okay, get in.
And see Despicable Me 4 in theaters July 3rd. Rated PG.
Finding a home for us was tough. But our agent Joe just got our needs. Hey, Joe.
Hey.
We went on home tour after home tour, and he didn't stop until we got the one.
I want it all for my dog.
Recipes. Recipes written by hand and lost to time are now being analyzed and restored using the power of Dell AI.
Starbucks Frappuccino drinks. The feeling of a comforting hug from your Nana, but with the taste of creamy, delicious coffee.
Right now, you can get a free footlong at Subway. Just buy any footlong in the app and get one free. Just scan the QR code and enter promo code FLBOGO. It only works from the other side of the screen, buddy.
You still got a landline in your house.
Order now on the Subway app.
Cubs with a 6-0 lead over the Mets. Tyler McGill, the New York starter, lasted only 3 innings. The left-hander Danny Young, recalled earlier today, will make his 10th appearance of the season for the Mets, replacing Sean Reed Foley on the Mets roster. Reed Foley placed on the injured list, so it's Young here in the bottom of the 4th.
You saw the numbers. He's throwing the ball well. You know, he basically went down, not for anything he did, but just a roster crunch. I think it was Edwin Diaz coming back on the roster, and you're a relief pitcher with options. That's going to happen. And the fact that he did get warm, not just warm, but really hot in the first inning, good move here to get him into the game.
Facing the longtime Met, Tomas Nido, flying to right his first time up. Cubs scored 5 runs in the first, added another in the third on the Christopher Morel home run. And the Mets have a longtime broadcaster, Tom, who you and I both know well, the great Howie Rose. And one of the signature calls of his career was during a hockey double overtime playoff game 7 when Stefan Matteau scored for the New York Rangers to send them to the Stanley Cup final in '94. Howie was at the mic. The current Mets pitcher was born that day, Danny Young, May 27th, 1994.
And that doesn't seem like that long ago.
There's the 0-2. Howie Rose, along with the terrific Mets television voice Gary Cohen, both inducted into the team's Hall of Fame last season. That Council's Cubs with a 6-0 lead this afternoon at Wrigley. As we take a look at the broadcast booths at the friendly confines. In fact, Howie Rose, celebrating his 50th season in the broadcast business, will host a show on WFAN in New York this Monday. Among his guests will be former Mets captain David Wright. Here's Iglesias across to Alonso at first, 1 away.
Well, for Tyler McGill, it was just a day. You just hope you write it off as just a day where you just did not have command. His velocity was down across all of his pitches today, but I think that was a function of just almost trying to guide the baseball. Just didn't have command, never got in rhythm, threw many more curveballs than he normally would.
Strike 1 to Nico Horner. Walked in the first, struck out in the second. Cubs scored 5 runs on 4 hits in the first inning off McGill on 38 pitches. 0-1 to Horner. Iglesias, 2 out. Well, starting tomorrow, the U.S. competes in the Championship of the Americas. Right here at home, the United States seek their first ever Copa America title. It all kicks off with the United States taking on Bolivia tomorrow at 6 Eastern on Fox. What a week. You were in Birmingham, Alabama the other day for the game between the Giants and the Cardinals and the celebration of the life of the great Willie Mays at Rickwood Field in Birmingham.
Yeah, after hanging out at Rickwood, this Wrigley, it's not bad for a newfangled stadium. It's not Rickwood, which was built in 1910, the oldest ballpark in the world, really, professional ballpark.
Bush off the mound. Took a fortunate bounce for the Mets.
I wanted to hear you call a kick save.
We gave it more passenger space for ultimate comfort. We elevated the design, and with Google built-in, we made its tech intuitive. With the all-new Prologue, we've made it easy to go electric, just like you'd expect from a Honda. The Prologue, everything you love about Honda, now electric.
All of America got this question right. Which new game show is the can't-miss hit of the summer?
And the answer, the 1% Club.
It's a no-brainer. Play along at home to see if you're the smartest person in the room.
Did you think you'd make it this far?
I hoped I would make it this far.
The 1% Club, on your Monday on Fox.
Looking for something delicious and affordable? Enjoy Kellogg's cereal with milk and fruit for less than $1.
No one has to know he got it for free using reward points in the McDonald's app.
Will and I are honored to have you all here as our summer interns.
Affleck and Damon, the Dunk Kings, are not here.
What does that big Dunkin' Ice button do?
Let's see. Okay. A lot of surprises.
Let's put a Dunkin' Ice in every hand this summer.
Find the comforts of home at Town Place Suites.
Lululemon Pace Breaker Shorts. Get into it. When you're free to test your limits, you can push yourself to new heights.
Be together in the Boys and Girls Clubs of America, empowering children and building futures. Bring it in.
The great Willie Mays, 24-time All-Star, 2-time National League Most Valuable Player, World Series champion in 1954 with the New York Giants, passed away earlier this week at the age of 93, and we send our condolences to Willie's family. Tom, you did a terrific job. The article on SportsIllustrated.com the morning after the news was released. And then it became somewhat of a celebration of his life at Rickwood Field.
Yeah, it really was. It was, you see the fortuitous hop right there. That's the kick save I was talking about. You know, losing an icon like that, there's so much sadness that to know that Willie is not with us anymore. But that night just had this feeling of love, appreciation, and a celebration of the life of Willie Mays. It was an amazing tone. I hope, and I think it did come across on the broadcast, to be a part of that and to be in the ballpark that evening. First of all, it was just a special privilege to be in that ballpark.
Alvarez sends this one out of the ballpark. Francisco Alvarez homers in back-to-back games, and the Mets are on the board.
Well, he said he's strong with power, and he showed it right there again. Yeah, this is a good day to hit it, Wrigley. But he got to pitch up in the zone, and he loves the ball upstairs. Watch him just uncoil on this. Great follow through. Powerful young man.
So Alvarez with 2 home runs the last 2 days at Wrigley. Do you know who the record holder is for home runs by a visiting player?
Most home
at this
runs
ballpark?
at Wrigley by a visiting player. Who could that be?
Here's McNeil, deep right field on the warning track. The catch is made by Bellinger for out number 1.
It's got to be the Say Hey kid.
You are correct. 54 career homers at Wrigley.
Amazing.
Including on this date, June 22nd, 1951, 73 years ago today, in his first game at Wrigley Field, he went deep in the 5th inning off Dutch Leonard. June 22nd, 1951. First of 54 home runs at Wrigley Field off the bat of Willie Mays.
Off Dutch Leonard? Wow, how old was he at that time? How about the 342 batting average in this ball yard? Wow.
He played 179 games at Wrigley Field. Center field, and Armstrong. Here's a look at the current stadiums where Willie Mays played, and we include Rickwood Field, which hosted a Major League game earlier this week. 1973 World Series with the New York Mets, his final season, and the All-Star game in 1961, one of 2 All-Star games that season at Fenway Park.
Just amazing when you think about he played in 7 home parks, and the only one that remains today is Rickwood Field. Minneapolis, Trenton, 2 ballparks in San Francisco, 2 in New York, all gone. And Rickwood, 114 years later, still stands. And I could not get the thought out of my head throughout that game, Kenny, that this is where Willie Mays, at the age of 17, started playing professional baseball. This same field. And, you know, it's one thing to know your history, but it's another thing to be standing amidst that history. A living museum, if you will.
Lindor 0 for 2.
Willie Mays had such a prolific career. It was almost as if you put 2 Hall of Fame's careers together into one. In fact, you could take Hack Wilson and Ralph Kiner, 2 Hall of Famers, and they combined had fewer hits and fewer home runs than Willie Mays.
Wow.
But as I like to tell people, and this is what I wrote about, you can give so many stats and accolades and awards about Willie Mays, but what you remember, what remains, is how he played the game of baseball.
Lindor down on strikes. What was going on there?
I think he was messing with his old teammate, trying to knock it out.
With Tomas Nido.
Look out, 'cause here I come.
Have you always had trouble losing weight and keeping it off? Same.
Discover the power of Wegovy.
And I'm marching on to the beat I drum.
With Wegovy, I lost 35 pounds. And some lost over 46 pounds.
Wegovy.
And I'm keeping the weight off.
Wegovy helps you lose weight and keep it off.
I'm reducing my risk.
Wegovy is the only FDA-approved weight management medicine that's proven to reduce risk of major cardiovascular events in adults with known heart disease and with either obesity or overweight.
Wegovy shouldn't be used with semaglutide or GLP-1 medicines. Don't take Wegovy if you or your family had medullary thyroid cancer, multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2, or if allergic to it. Stop Wegovy and get medical help right away if you get a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, or an allergic reaction. Serious side effects may happen, including pancreatitis and gallbladder problems. Wegovy may cause low blood sugar in people with diabetes, especially if you take medicines to treat diabetes. Tell your provider about vision problems or changes, or if you feel your heart racing while at rest. Depression or thoughts of suicide may occur. Call your provider right away if you have any mental changes. Common side effects like nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea may lead to dehydration, which may cause kidney problems.
With Wegovy,
I'm losing weight.
I'm keeping it off.
And I'm lowering my CV risk.
That's the power of winning. Wegovy.
Check your cost and coverage before talking to your healthcare professional about Wegovy.
Refresh your senses with a kick of citrus flavor. Do the do.
What do you mean the connecting rooms were not confirmed?
Exactly, not confirmed.
We need to be able to see our kids.
Oh, you'll be able to see them.
When you want your kids in a room that's actually connecting, it matters where you stay. Hilton for the stay.
Cubs leading the Mets 6-1. We saw Lindor having some fun with his former teammate Nito after striking out moments ago.
This was a foul tip, and he's saying, "You didn't catch that. I'm going to knock that out of your hand." No, get back.
Here's Bellinger leading off for the Cubs. By the way, Dutch Leonard was 42 when he allowed that home run to Willie Mays back in 1951 on this date.
Yeah, I remember the name Dutch Leonard from farther back. From what year was that?
51.
Yeah. That's a long career to play to 42. Of course, Willie played until he was 42. You saw that he had up the park still standing that he played in, the Coliseum in Oakland. His last hit as a major leaguer was a winning hit of a World Series game in '73.
With the New York Mets, who acquired Willie in 1972, brought him back home to New York.
And it was the famous line from his teammate, Ray Sadecki, who said, "Of course Willie got the winning hit. Baseball was invented for Willie Mays."
He had numerous winning hits playing stickball with the youngsters during his early days with the New York Giants, who would take part outside his apartment building right near the Polo Grounds, the Giants' home ballpark at the time.
I love that story, by the way, and it wasn't just a one-time thing. Willie lived on the ground floor of an apartment on St. Nicholas Place in Harlem, and the kids literally would come by in the morning, knock on his window, basically asking, "Can Willie come out and play?" And he would, and then he would buy them all ice cream, and then he would walk to the Polo Grounds and play baseball like nobody before or since.
And the Polo Grounds was located right across the river from Yankee Stadium. There are some great overhead shots showing both ballparks right in the vicinity of one another, separated by only water. Bellinger pops it up. McNeil is under it. One away. This was 50-year-old Willie Mays at Shea Stadium. How about that catch? 1981 Mets Old-Timers Day. How about that?
At the Jeep Make This the Summer event, you can take a vacation from payments on the most capable Wrangler ever. Our most affordable SUV, Jeep Compass. The only open-air pickup, Jeep Gladiator. And the most awarded SUV ever, Jeep Grand Cherokee. Hurry into your Jeep brand dealer and make the most out of summer with great deals plus no payments for 90 days.
During the Jeep Make This the Summer event, get the 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee starting at $38,290 MSRP plus finance and get no monthly payments for 90 days.
The future is threatened by enemies often unpredictable. When there are battles to win for America's future, there is one constant: Marines.
Pizza Hut just changed the combo game with the new My Hut Box. Starting at $6.99, it's the ultimate solo meal. Get a personal pan pizza or melts and your favorite side. Combo like you never comboed before. No one outpizza the Hut.
Someone needs to customize and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Wait, there's an elevator?
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Go. When you're traveling with 3 kids and pretty much everything they own,
Hi, guys. Welcome.
it matters where you stay. Hilton for the stay.
The summer's #1 new show goes Italian.
Will they stay dry, or is somebody coming out all the dente?
The Quiz with Balls, only Tuesday on Fox.
Sunday. It's a summer of stars as the U.S. hosts the world's best players for Copa America. The U.S. men's team looks to make an historic run. This is the championship of the Americas. USA versus Bolivia, Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern on Fox.
31-year-old right-hander Adrian Hauser, third Mets pitcher of the afternoon, his 16th appearance this season. Danny Young retired all 4 batters that he faced.
You see the season numbers, a lot of those are skewed early in the season in the rotation. Did not go well at all for him. Done a nice job out of the bullpen. That pitch right there is what he's going to feature. That sinker, right around league average 93, but good downward movement.
Suzuki with a base hit down the left field line, past the diving Iglesias. Suzuki in at second. His second hit of the afternoon. Some more sights from Rickwood Field. Legends of the game coming together.
Everything was perfect. John Batiste did a great job before the game with his crew. And how about the flyover before the game? The fighter jet. You see the missing man formation. And salute to the fallen Willie Mays. Just a joyful evening of baseball, recognizing Willie and the Negro Leagues. Great celebration.
Did you have many interactions with Willie through the years?
The only ones I had, I can't say on a one-on-one basis, but every year in spring training, as I made rounds through different camps, I always look forward to the stop in Scottsdale for the Giants, and I just hope it was one of those days when Willie was there. And there were times where he was, because he loved being around ball players and around the clubhouse, and he would basically just sit around a picnic table in the middle of the clubhouse and just tell stories. You know, Willie obviously being such an icon, people were always asking him for some things, autographs, appearances. So Suzuki tags on the fly ball. And I think those were just joyous moments where he loved the game of baseball so much. I think that's where he was most in his element. So for me to be almost a fly on the wall and sit there and listen to the conversations, the interactions with the active players, that was my takeaway, that Willie was such a giving person and just loved the game of baseball, and I think he enjoyed those moments so much himself.
In recent years, he had his own suite at the ballpark in San Francisco. Of course, the statue outside the stadium.
I'm talking to Bob Melvin, the Giants manager, when he got to the Giants in the 80s, and they assigned him a locker. The locker next to him belonged to Willie Mays. They kept a locker there for Willie to use. How about that?
Morel went deep his last time up. Now in the 5th inning, flies out to Taylor in center.
There was a tree down in the woods, the prettiest tree that you ever did see. Now the tree has roots that need water to grow jobs, grow skills, make the whole world go. Oh, make the green grass grow all around, make the green grass grow all around.
At JP Morgan Chase, the investments we make help make businesses happen, that make jobs happen, that make communities happen. Together, we make momentum happen.
Summer back then, we perfected the selfie, made our own music, and took fashion to a whole new level. But while each summer may look a little different, it always tastes great. So reach for your favorite chips and sips and taste more summer.
To 50 years with my best friend.
Quick, the quicker picker-upper. Bounty absorbs spills like a sponge and is 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less. Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
More dropping in. More getting out there. More soaking it up. Pacifico, life's waiting.
Arby's understands if you need a steak knife to get into these supremely stacked burgers. But don't forget, teeth are just mouth knives. Arby's, we have the meats.
Unique style, cutting-edge innovation, and thoughtful details inspired by you. This is the all-electric RZ. This is Lexus. Electrified.
Jamison Tyone pitching with a 6-1 lead. And how about this? Most no decisions as a starter through 184 career games.
Yeah, the interesting thing about this list is you see those years. Not a surprise to anyone that in today's baseball, your starting pitcher gets fewer and fewer decisions. For Jamison Tyone, a lot of run support, in line for a W today.
Brandon Nimmo leading off for the Mets in the 6th. He's 1 for 2 today. You mentioned Bob Melvin in that locker at Candlestick Park right next to Willie Mays. Willie hit more home runs at Candlestick, of course, than any other stadium that he played in throughout his major league career. 203. He hit 98 at the Polo Grounds, his initial home with the New York Giants. And as we mentioned earlier, more than any other visiting player at Wrigley with 54 career home runs. Nimmo is retired, 1 away here in the top of the 6th. Well, you can stream every out-of-market game. Available at a new low price starting at $119.99. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details.
Pretty good start right there. It's only the 6th inning.
Always a good time at Wrigley. We referenced the Ryan Sandberg ceremony tomorrow. Statue unveiling. And the game we were talking about earlier, 40 years ago tomorrow, so that was June 23rd, a Saturday in 1984. You know what happened 4 days earlier? Pretty big day for the city of Chicago as well on June 19th, which is a Tuesday.
I don't know.
I'll tell you after this pitch. The 0-2 to Martinez. The event actually took place in New York. It was the NBA draft. And the Bulls selected 3rd overall a player who wore the same number as Ryan Sandberg by the name of Michael Jordan. Martinez called out on strikes.
Yeah, he can't believe it. But Zion's been around the plate and he gets this call. Nito, I like the way he receives the baseball. You see how low he sets the target. Stealing strikes is mostly done on the bottom of the zone. So being able to set that target low is important.
Alonso with a base hit into left field, drops in front of Ian Happ. So the Mets have a 2-out base runner. We're in the 6th inning, trailing 6-1.
So Michael Jordan, you said 3rd overall drafted. Jamison Tyone, number 2 overall. Bryce Harper went number 1 that year.
Back in 2010.
High school phenom. I mean, where have you heard this before? Hard-throwing right-hander out of high school in Texas. Whether it was Kerry Wood or Nolan Ryan or Josh Beckett. John Lackey. I mean, the list goes just on and on and on. There's something about Texas and hard throwers. There's the 2010 draft. Jamison Tyone between Bryce Harper and Manny Machado.
Tyone drafted by the Pirates. Spent his first 4 major league seasons with Pittsburgh.
Always had a good arm, but the way he threw made it susceptible to injuries. A very long arm swing. He actually had Tommy John surgery and relearned how to throw a baseball. And if you watch him throw now, he actually has been shorter in terms of his arm swing. Not quite grimace. You see here, the other guys picked in the draft. But to stay healthy, he shortened his arm swing. His arm used to swing all the way behind him, and now that arm pretty much stays, behind the hip. Before, if you were a hitter, you could see his arm swing behind his back. Doesn't go back quite that far, the extension.
You saw Aaron Judge at the bottom of that list. He did not sign, and eventually 3 years later was selected much, much higher, 32nd overall.
Chris Sale at number 13 actually has the most wins in that class. And if you watch Chris Sale pitch anytime this season, especially last night at Yankee Stadium, you're saying, that's vintage Chris Sale.
So Russell Wilson at 140th overall. Speaking of Pittsburgh, now with the Steelers. He always talks about the arm motion. He was a middle infielder. And when you watch him throw a football, he will adjust depending on where the defenders are, and talks about his days playing baseball.
I say that about Patrick Mahomes. Of course, his dad, a big league pitcher. Patrick Mahomes is the El Duque of NFL quarterbacks. He can throw it from any angle. Ball or strike, you be the umpire. It's borderline.
Pat Mahomes Sr. was part of that 2000 World Series we were referencing earlier, right, with the Mets. Stewart down on strikes, middle of the 6th. 6-1 Cubs.
USAA? You were in the military?
No, my grandpa was. He passed membership to my mom, then me.
Huh.
Yeah, if your spouse, parent, or grandparent served, they could pass it to you.
I'll check it out.
USAA, for the military community and their families.
Starbucks Frappuccino drinks. The feeling of a comforting hug from your Nana, but with the taste of creamy, delicious coffee.
Don't pay a rate based on someone who drives like this. Save with DriveWise and get a rate based on you.
Big Dunkin' Iced Energy?
Yeah. BDIE.
Who's with us?
I'm with customer service. We think you've been hacked. To unlock your account, please confirm your name and password.
Yeah, no.
Please answer the following security questions. What is your mother's maiden name? What is your favorite animal? What is the last name of your first grade teacher?
Don't fall for customer service scams online. If it's weird for real, it's weird for real.
The best nutrients for their best life. Science did that.
Altoids, curiously strong mints.
I'm rebuilding this wrecked car with the help of eBay Guaranteed Fit.
What's going on here, Tom?
We've got dueling snakes, and I think right now the score is a little closer than Mets-Cubs. 6-1 in favor of the hometown team, but in terms of the snakes, all right, the one on the right's got a little bit of a lead, but feel the momentum is on the left side of the bleachers.
And when you have the momentum, the key is to keep the momentum, because when you lose it,
then you don't
how
have
do you get it back?
You got to hold it up for the next 3 innings, folks.
Talking
Yeah, it
about
seemed like fun in the beginning.
Snakes and the grimace. Where are we headed next? Hauser delivers, and Crow Armstrong with his second hit of the afternoon. So the Cubs with a one-out base runner tonight. Baseball Night in America on Fox. It's the Braves and the Yankees. Some of you will see the Brewers and the Padres. It all begins at 7 Eastern on Fox. Check local listings for the game in your area. Yankees half-game lead on the Orioles in the American League East. So the Yankees and Braves, Brewers and Padres tonight on Fox. Cubs scored 5 in the first off Tyler McGill. Throw down to first, and Crow Armstrong is back in.
Yeah, it looked like he wanted to run, changed his mind, and Alvarez made the back pick. Good decision here. Yeah, a little bit of a stumble. And watch him get to the far side of the base, as far as you can get. Alonso was like, where did he go? Premier base runner, premier defender. The question is, how much will he hit in the big leagues?
13 steals this season. There he goes. And this is ripped into the right field corner. Off the ivy. Crow Armstrong around third, heading home. And the Cubs now lead 7-1. Tomas Nido with his first run batted in as a Cub, and he does it against his former club.
Yeah, watch PCA. He's running. That's a straight steal, not a hit and run. Now he has to find the baseball up in the air. He had to stop and then take off again. Watch this. And he's going to score easily. Adventurous trip around the bases for PCA.
Strike one to Horner. So there's a look at Crow Armstrong, who tripled in a run in the first, singled here in the sixth, came around to score on the Nido two-base hit.
Hydrate. Important to hydrate on days like this, especially when you run like that.
Comes from a family of performers. Both of his parents are actors.
Big actors, yeah. Comes from California, right?
At the high school in Los Angeles area. Horner 0 for 2 with a walk. And he sends this one into center field. Taylor makes the catch. Now 2 away here in the Cubs' sixth. Michael Busch 0 for 3 today, scored a run back in the first inning. The Cubs chased McGill after 3 innings. He allowed 6 runs on 5 base hits. Cubs added a run in the third. Christopher Morel went deep. And another here in the sixth inning.
Michael Busch is a good hitter, period, but especially on balls down in the zone. Watch him take his stance and really get into his knees. It's a good idea to pitch him up. Generally, if you see a guy who's deep into their knees in the box, it's tougher for them to get on top of higher pitches. They're working up towards the top of the zone. It's a good shot there of the stance of Michael Busch.
Now 2-1. Nito takes his lead off second with 2 outs. 2-2.
Couple of good sliders here. Listen, Lindor messing with his old teammate again. Give it back to him. That's right. Turnabout is fair play.
They actually played together as kids in Puerto Rico. That's how far back Nito and Lindor go.
Yeah, that ball moved so much right there. Alvarez almost missed it. Obviously, Nito's not going anywhere, but Francisco just having fun with his buddy.
Payoff pitch, and Busch fouls it back.
Mr. Smiles. He lives up to that nickname every day.
Busch takes ball 4. So he heads down to first, and the Cubs now have 2 on with 2 out. Now Lindor, all smiles. You won't see a grimace from him, even when trailing 7-1.
He really is like that all the time. Whether he's slumping with a hot streak, teams winning, teams losing. He's got great disposition in any line of work, but especially this game of baseball, which will challenge anybody's patience. This is quite the conversation here. There's nobody throwing in the Mets bullpen. And Cody Bellinger has seen a ton of pitches tonight. Any hope of the Mets coming back in this game? Hauser's got to handle Cody Bellinger right here.
Bellinger has walked twice and popped out to second. Two on, 2 out, bottom of the 6th inning in Chicago. Ball 1 to Bellinger.
It just looks like he's seeing the ball really well.
This is the 25th pitch to Bellinger in his 4 plate appearances today.
I'm telling you, if you watch him, there's no false movement. It's not like the hands get started too early and he has to stop. The body does not drift forward. Everything on balance. He looks scary good right now. Taken all the way right there. It's a little surprising.
Bellinger, the 2019 National League Most Valuable Player. Now 3-1. Hauser delivers a called strike 2. The count is full. Payoff pitch to Bellinger. Diving stop made by Alonso, throws off the mark. Nito scores. Bush scores. Bellinger out at second. Bush actually held up at third. So it's an 8-1 Cubs lead.
It's a great stop by Alonso, but Pete has had problems with this play. You know, he doesn't throw the ball hard enough when he throws these to first base and just airmailed that. Probably go as a base hit and an error. Bellinger's speed puts a lot of pressure on the defender to get rid of the ball in a hurry. And Nito's going to score easily once that ball sails over the head of Hauser. Even when he's completed those plays, sorry, Kitty, he's had difficulty trying to time the ball. So you want to get the ball to the pitcher before he gets to the bag. You don't want the pitcher to find the ball in the bag at the same time.
So it's now 8-1 Chicago, second and third. Suzuki takes strike two. Craig Counsell's club bouncing back from an 11-1 loss yesterday. Called strike three. Suzuki strikes out. The Cubs extend their lead.
I have type 2 diabetes, but I manage it well. It's a little pill with a big story to tell. I take once daily Jardiance at each day's start. As time went on, it was easy to see I'm lowering my A1C.
Jardiance works 24/7 in your body to flush out some sugar. And for adults with type 2 diabetes and known heart disease, Jardiance can lower the risk of cardiovascular death too.
Serious side effects may include ketoacidosis that may be fatal, dehydration that can lead to sudden worsening of kidney function, and genital yeast or urinary tract infections. A rare life-threatening bacterial infection in the skin of the perineum could occur. Stop Jardiance and call your doctor right away if you have symptoms of this infection, ketoacidosis, or an allergic reaction. You may have increased risk for lower limb loss. Call your doctor right away if you have symptoms of infection in your legs or feet. Taking Jardiance with a sulfonylurea or insulin may cause low blood sugar.
Jardiance is really swell, the little pill with the big story to tell.
We're done.
What about these?
Looks right.
Quick, the quicker picker-upper. Bounty absorbs spills like a sponge and is 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less. Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
Trains. Trains that use the power of Dell AI and Intel. Clearing the way so you arrive exactly where you belong.
No fees or minimums and no overdraft fees are another reason banking with Capital One is an even easier decision than this.
We need a clutch hit. Derek. Jeter.
Hang in there, rookie. Yep, even easier than that. What's in your wallet?
Starbucks Frappuccino drinks. The feeling of a comforting hug from your Nana, but with the taste of creamy, delicious coffee.
Another paying customer at Wrigley this afternoon.
He's got a great seat. That's the backstop screen.
With the Cubs leading the Mets 8-1. Tyrone Taylor leading off against Jameson Taillon here in the 7th.
9 punch-outs, season high 13 swings and misses. Boy, he has been good and efficient today. See the pitch count at 83, now 84. We said it, when you give a strike thrower 5 runs to work with out of the chute, it is attack mode, and that's exactly what he's done.
Taylor struck out his first time up back in the 4th inning. And he strikes out again. 10th strikeout for Taillon as we head to Los Angeles for a game break. with Chris Myers. Chris.
Hey, Kenny. Giants in St. Louis. Alec Burleson, 3 for 3. His first career 2-homer game. Jordan Hicks started for San Francisco. Cardinals came in tied for one of those final wild card spots. They lead 8-4 in the bottom of the 7th.
All right, thanks, Chris. Speaking of home runs, here's Alvarez, who went deep back in the 5th inning, and he sends this one off the ivy. Extra bases for Alvarez once again.
I think the ball took off on Pete Crow Armstrong. You know, that's part of the win, what it does here at Wrigley. The ball's hit hard. And you're playing the outfield here at Wrigley. You are very aware of that brick wall behind you.
So Alvarez with a home run.
I think it's gotten windier in the course of the game.
Homer to center in the 5th inning, doubles to center here in the 7th. Jeff McNeil 0 for 2 today. National League batting champion just 2 seasons ago. To McNeil, fouls it back. The Mets with their recent run, 8 of their last 9, 12 of their last 15. Have pulled to within just 1 game in the National League wild card race. Cubs are 2 back. Of course, the top 3 wild card clubs in both leagues make it to the postseason.
The last 2 weeks just proved what the Mets have done. You're only 2 weeks away from being right in the thick of things in terms of a wild card. We're coming up on the 81 game mark, half a season being played, and in the National League you have really all but the Marlins and Rockies alive in the playoff picture.
Two to McNeil. Moving to his right, Crow Armstrong. Now 2 away.
Which makes these games, believe it or not, we're talking about this Mets-Cubs series here, really important, because remember, there are no tiebreaker games to be played. So if you imagine the Mets and Cubs would tie for a playoff spot, a wild card spot, the first tiebreaker is head-to-head competition. This series will mark the second and final series against one another. And if the Cubs hold on to win this one, they'll be tied.
Iglesias pops out to Morel. 7th inning stretch time.
Oh, hey, can I get my Pepsi Zero Sugar?
I got you.
Thanks. Nice.
Yes. Right now at Jersey Mike's, earn a $25 off Fanatics promo code for every $25 you spend through the app when you add chips and a drink.
Ethan! How's my favorite client?
Great. I started using Schwab investing themes, so now I can easily invest in trends, like wearable tech.
Trends? All that research sounds exhausting.
Nope. Schwab's technology does the work. So if I spot an opportunity in robotics or pets, I can buy those stocks in a few clicks.
Can't be that easy.
It is with Schwab.
Schwab investing themes. 40 customizable themes, up to 25 stocks in just a few clicks.
Refresh your senses with a kick of citrus flavor. Do the do.
You're playing with fire, kid. Laptop's unmade to handle all that. Multiple apps, big files. You think it won't crash? You're a hot dog in a hurricane.
It's a Mac. It's running fine.
Ah. That's a weird fork, man.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills.
Hello?
Should you become stranded, be ready to signal rescuers.
Bush.
How long have I been? 12 minutes. Head for the mountains.
Introducing Jersey Mike's new Smoky Southwestern Cheesesteak. Freshly grilled and topped with our Smoky Southwest sauce. It's southwatering, or mouthwesterning, or just delicious. The new Smoky Southwestern Cheesesteak for a limited time only at Jersey Mike's.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the ground. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I ever get back, so it's root for the Three strikes are out at the old ball game. Let's get some runs. Celebrating the 1984 Cubs, Ryan Sandberg. His statue will be unveiled at Wrigley tomorrow.
Yeah, great to see Rhino and his buddies in the ballpark today being honored. I'm telling you, that 84 Cubs team has a special place in Cubs history. To me, it's the year that really made the Cubs popular in this modern game. I say that because until 84, they were working on 11 straight losing seasons. And that Cubs team, you see the pop-up here, foul territory by Iglesias, won 96 games, and it was the first time the Cubs drew 2 million fans. They were second in the league in attendance that year. Of course, that was the team Dallas Green put together. He was in his third year of the architect building that team. Lots of savvy trades. And then the NLCS happened. After winning the first two, falling to San Diego.
Nice play by Iglesias, quickly 2 away. Our game summary sponsored by JP Morgan Chase. Tyone rolling along, season high 10 strikeouts. Cubs scored 5 in the first inning. Mets only 1 run today after putting up 11 against the Cubs in the series opener yesterday. Dansby Swanson 1 for 3, doubled in a run, came around to score in the first. He left yesterday's game early. Tweaked his knee, but the counsel told us came in today and everything was all right. Swanson down on strikes. We head to the 8th.
Conquer the weekend in the 3-row, all-new Hyundai Santa Fe.
Starbucks Frappuccino drinks. The feeling of a comforting hug from your Nana, but with the taste of creamy, delicious coffee.
July 16th on Fox. We're deep in the heart of Texas, where the game's biggest stars align for the Midsummer Classic. The MLB All-Star Game, July 16th on Fox.
Ashley's Stars and Stripes sale is going on now with hot buys for only $7.99. Shop more deals in-store and online.
This summer is all about big Dunkin' Ice energy.
Let's put a Dunkin' Ice in every hand this summer.
Love is all that I can give to you. Love is more than just a game for two.
If you're finally ready to take a trip without the kids, why stay at a hotel with more kids? Get an Airbnb and get a place to yourself.
How should I plant this if my garden doesn't receive direct sunlight?
Listen to every MLB game live. Stream minor league affiliates and MLB Big Inning. MLB at Bat is only $3.99 per month. Subscribe within the MLB app today.
What an afternoon it has been for Jameson Taillon.
10 strikeouts most this year. 15 swings and misses most this year. Handed a 5-run lead. He knew just what to do. Attack the strike zone. He was so efficient with those 10 strikeouts. No walks. This is 3 starts in a row now where he has just been on point for the Cubs.
Right-hander Colton Brewer makes his 11th appearance. Coming out of the Cubs pen. Facing the top of the order, Lindor. 0 for 3 today. New third baseman for the Cubs, David Bodie. Now 1-2 on Lindor. Mets came into this game having won 8 of their last 9. They had outscored their opponents during that stretch 66-28. The Cubs put up 5 runs in the first inning today. Another foul off the bat of Lindor. Count remains 1-2.
Big day tomorrow for number 23. The unveiling of the statue of Ryan Sandberg. Here's a question for you. If you commission a statue for Ryan Sandberg, do you have him batting or fielding?
That's an excellent question.
That's the kind of player.
We'll find out tomorrow.
That's the kind of player he was, right? Gold Glove second baseman with power.
Won 9 Gold Glove awards, a 10-time All-Star. Speaking of, the 2024 MLB All-Star ballot presented by Build Submarines is now open. Vote daily at MLB.com/vote. Get your favorite players to the All-Star game. Lindor, a 4-time All-Star. He strikes out for the 3rd time today. So 1 away here in the Mets 8th.
Some more hijinks between Nito and Lindor. Gotcha. Tag, you're it.
Just like when they were youngsters. Together back in Puerto Rico. Brandon Nimmo 1 for 3. Singled back in the 4th inning. Bounce foul back behind first. Now 1-2.
Well, I think these Cubs pitchers are going to like throwing to Tomas Nido. He did a nice job with the Mets. They just ran into a roster crunch with Alvarez coming back off the IL and Luis Torrens, who they picked up, playing really well from Jump Street once he arrived to the Mets. The Mets had to get rid of Omar Narvaez and then Tomas Nido.
Nimmo strikes out, so after Tyone struck out 10, Brewer has struck out both Mets batters that he has faced in Lindor and Nimmo. So with two away, here's J.D. Martinez, who has a couple of hits today. First pitch, ground ball to the shortstop, Swanson. Middle of the eighth in Chicago.
This is the mark of a fighter. A rich, full-flavored lager with a crisp, refreshing taste. A reward for those with a fighting spirit. You've earned this, so hold it up high. Modelo, the mark of a fighter.
I'm a B, and I bumbled my way into your car.
Buzz.
But this hive isn't big enough for the both of us. Boo!
Oh, wow, what a buzzkill. And if you don't have the right auto insurance coverage,
Paying for this could really sting. So get Allstate, save money, and be protected from mayhem, like me.
Welcome to Jiffy Lube. How can we call more for you today?
Whatever's quick. Please, we got a date with the zoo.
No worries. You'll be in and out with a powerful, quick, quality oil change.
My windows are kind of a mess.
We got you.
Need a car and courtesy vacuum?
You're gonna need a bigger vacuum. Car more. Now I get it. Mommy could use a little self-car.
Jiffy Lube. Car more.
Arby's Deluxe Burger. Have you ever seen such a well-crafted burger? Oh, Arby's Big Cheesy Bacon Burger. Have you ever seen such a... Arby's, we have the meats.
You came looking for a light beer, and you found gold. Modelo Auto. The light beer with a clean, crisp finish. For anyone who expects more from their light beer, Modelo Auto, the gold standard of light beer.
Saturday is Baseball Night in America on Fox. Matt Olson leads the Braves against Aaron Judge and the Yankees. Or the Brewers battle the Padres. It's Baseball Night in America tonight at 7 Eastern on Fox.
Bottom of the eighth inning, Cubs out to an 8-1 lead over the Mets. Kenny Albert, Tom Verducci, Pete Crow Armstrong leading off for the Cubs against Adrian Hauser. Crow Armstrong with a couple of hits today, tripled in a run back in the first. Singled and scored in the sixth. Cubs breaking out in a big way. They've struggled offensively. That started early with 5 runs in the first inning.
Yeah, thinking back to our conversation with Craig Counsell before the game about that offense and where the improvement has to come from.
Left field, Nimmo makes the catch, 1 away.
And the first two names you mentioned, Christopher Morel and Dansby Swanson. Both big days today, run scoring hits in the first inning. Morel adding a home run.
Morel and Swanson both drove in a run in that first inning. And then Morel went deep in the third. Lito with his first hit as a Cub in the 6th inning, a run scoring double. From Hauser, now 2 balls, 1 strike.
Just to give you an idea how much this team has struggled offensively, and I say that obviously you look around the game and offense is down, it's a pitching dominated game, I get that, but in a full season the Cubs came in hitting .229. The worst Cubs hitting team was .235, and that was in 1892.
Right field, Stewart on the warning track. Now 2 out. Play Ball is baseball's global youth initiative to highlight the fun and accessible ways to play our great game. To learn more, including how to find a league near you, go to playball.org. Follow Play Ball on X, Facebook, and Instagram. We're playing some ball outside Wrigley.
Very cool. A little cornhole, too, but it's okay.
Nico Horner 0 for 3 with a walk today. Pitching matchup tomorrow. Javier Assad for the Cubs. Mets tweak the rotation a bit. Luis Severino will start tomorrow, so he will not face his former team, the Yankees, this week.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. It was really about matchups where Carlos Mendoza wanted left-hander Peterson against the Yankees. I was looking forward to Severino back in the Bronx in a Mets uniform. Won't happen.
Not this time. Here's the 0-2 to Horner. 1 ball, 2 strikes. In the dirt, 2-2.
And the pitch before that, you saw it. Alvarez got hit in the finger with that one. To me, when he pulls pitches that are well out of the zone into the zone, I would not recommend that. See, that's a breaking ball here. It spins back the other way against the spin, and I know there's such an emphasis placed on framing, but job number 1 is to make sure the strikes are strikes. Keep your strikes what they are, strikes. And keep your hand movements more subtle.
Bounce to the shortstop, Lindor. We head to the 9th.
There's your biggie bag. All that food for $5, that's my go-to.
Ooh, that's my ride or die.
Just like you and me. Bag boys. Bag boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when we bring your food?
Go biggie and get all this with the JBC for just $5.
Starbucks Frappuccino drinks. The feeling of a comforting hug from your Nana, but with a taste of creamy, delicious coffee.
When you prefer dream vacation over a rental nightmare, it matters where you stay. Embassy Suites by Hilton. Hilton for the stay.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball, may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
Use Hydro Boost Water Cream, 9 times the hydration for replenished, dewy, glowy skin. Grab at your nearest store today.
Cold lagered, cold filtered, cold packaged. Coors Light. Choose chill.
Live up to it. The all-new GX.
Accord or CR-V hybrids. Get 614 miles per tank of continuous driving. The battery charges as you drive. Get 3.9% financing. It's good to drive Honda hybrids. Search your local Honda dealer today.
Progress comes in many flavors. You can fight for it with a paintbrush, a bicycle, a surfboard, a polar bear suit, or a giant ice cream cone. You can make progress by doing the things you love.
Make some mother truckin' shake.
Bleach is still pretty full at Wrigley.
I love it. All right, you know, the score really doesn't matter, right? You can have a good time in the bleachers at Wrigley no matter what the score is. Even if the Cubs were losing 8-1, it'd still be pretty much packed out there. It's a party.
And the Cubs lead the Mets 8-1. Hector Neris will look to close things out. Facing Pete Alonso, leading off for the Mets here in the top of the 9th inning. Great job by our entire crew today. Our producer Max Linewan, director Brian Biederman, broadcast associate Charlie Taft, Sean Riley and Scott Beck in graphics, audio Joel Gribbenhoff, our technical director Adam Radke, Stan Thomas in replay, and Boma, Wayne Fiddleman crunching the numbers. Mets with an 11-1 victory yesterday in the series opener. Cubs with 5 runs in the first inning today, and Alonso is down on strikes, 1 away.
He must have been sitting on the splitter right there because he took a fastball that got a lot of the plate. Yeah, different story, different day. Which means that tomorrow is a big game. I mentioned this season series will be decided tomorrow's game. It's the last game between the Cubs and the Mets. And if they should tie for a playoff spot, the game tomorrow will decide who goes in the playoffs and who doesn't. You really have to think about that as a manager.
You think the players are aware of that?
Yes.
Oh, nice play. Made by Nito.
Well, we've talked about the wind here today. And yeah, hang with it. It's exactly what he does here. Never taking his eye off it, and that ball came back a lot. I got it. Whoops. Yeah, I got it.
Welcome to Wrigley, Tomas. Smiling like his buddy Lindor.
There he is. Yeah, I've seen him do that before, he said.
Mets down to their final out. It's Taylor at the plate. So the very important series finale tomorrow. Mets will head home for 2 with the Yankees. Cubs head west after tomorrow's game, 4 in San Francisco. That's a fair ball down the left field line. Taylor on his way to second.
Quick bat right here. You're seeing Bodie playing well off the line, and that's a fair ball. Right over the bag.
Here's Alvarez, who has holbered and doubled in his last 2 at-bats. Went deep yesterday as well.
Well, even just on today's results, the Cubs have learned, don't leave the ball up in the zone with Alvarez. Gotta work down.
Two 2-0 on Alvarez. Taylor, the runner on second, 2 outs, top of the 9th inning. Alvarez pops it foul. Now 3-1.
That was a real good split. I don't know how he stayed off the pitch. Nito doesn't get the call.
one from Neris. In for a called strike. The count is full. Payoff pitch. Low ball 4.
That's a nice job by Alvarez because he took that 3-1 fastball. To me, it told me he was sitting on the split the way he just let that one go by. And so when he did get the split 3-2, he didn't budge, didn't offer.
So the Mets with runners on first and in second, 2 outs. With Jeff McNeil at the plate. And he takes a called strike, 0-1. McNeil 0 for 3 today. No hits in his last 10 at-bats overall. Strike 2. Mets down to their final strike, and there it is. So the Cubs bounce back, lose by 10, win by 7.
That's a classic Saturday afternoon at Wrigley if you're a Cubs fan. Now the question is, what does this lead to? 8 runs, that's a breakout for the Cubs. Their most runs since May 11th. Now they need to consolidate this kind of offensive showing and start scoring more runs consistently. It's a start.
For Jameson Taillon, his first win in his last 8 starts. 5 runs in the first, 8 more in the final. For Tom Verducci and our entire crew, I'm Kenny Albert. We take you back to Los Angeles in the studio with Chris Myers and Aaron Karros.
Thanks very much, Kenny and Tom. And don't forget, coming up at the top of the hour, it's Copa tonight, leading into Ecuador and Venezuela in group play at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. That's coming up here on FS1 over on Fox in a couple hours. Braves, Yankees, and Baseball Night in America. With Eric Karros, I'm Chris Myers. Thanks for hanging with us. Wow, the Mets came in hot, having won 8 of 9, but the Cubs right away said, grimace this. 5-run first inning, they exploded.
Well, they did explode, and that's been the missing part for the Cubs this year. It is the offense. It just has been non-existent. Again, this is the most runs that they've put up since May 11th. You look at their rankings in Major League Baseball, 27th in average with runners in scoring position, 20th in home runs. If they can get any type of offense, their pitching has been relatively good. I mean, as of up to a few days ago, their starting staff was one of the few that had an ERA collectively of under 3.5. If they can continue to pitch, they get some offense, maybe even make an acquisition along the way, they could possibly be a playoff team.
Yeah, in that wild card hunt, trying to dig their way out of the bottom of the division. Jameson Taillon, speaking of pitching, last 3 starts has allowed only 3 runs, 18 strikeouts, and as they pointed out, he had 10 strikeouts in the game today, just gave up the home run.
Well, he was absolutely electric, and one of the things where he was so effective was the swing and misses. He had 15 swing and misses, and he did it with an assortment of pitches. He used the sweeper today, threw that, he got 4 swings on that. All 4 of them missed. The cutter was effective, the curveball as well. And so he kept this Mets ball club off balance. And we highlighted prior to the show how good the Mets have been offensively. Remember, they put up 11 runs yesterday. They are feeling good, right? And he came in and just shut them down.
Is it a spark for the Cubs in a wide-open wild card chase in the NL Central, or in that league, I should say? Still a shot, I guess, in that Central Division. Catch the Cubs next weekend as they visit first place Milwaukee. Coverage beginning at 3 Eastern. That's next Saturday here on FS1. So let's check the wild card mix. Giants, Cardinals part of that. St. Louis a game and a half out of that last spot when they started the day. That's Alec Burleson with a home run.
Cardinals, you remember, they were left for dead after the first month or so. They're getting things going. They're swinging the bats better, playing a little better. They're right in the thick of this thing as well.
His first career 2-homer game, his 12th of the season, and the offense for St. Louis, a 9-4 final. They put up good numbers. Rays and Pirates in Pittsburgh. O'Neill Cruz with his 10th of the year.
So much youth in Pittsburgh. We all talk about the pitching and what those guys are doing. Don't sleep on O'Neal Cruz. Remember, he is somebody that, again, got banged up, injury, coming back, swinging the bat well. He can be a force.
455 feet, second longest in his career. It was almost a river shot. At least it looked that way. So these are the updated standings. Of course, the Braves out in front, but there are the Cardinals, Padres, a little beat up with some injuries off of last night. Cubs and Mets, and Tom made the point on the broadcast, every win when you're facing a team that's also in this wild card hunt could figure in a tiebreaker if it gets down to that. So who's most dangerous to really do something out of that wild card spot after the Atlanta Braves? We'll give them their whole category.
Right. As well we should. It's obvious right now, and you can just look at the leaderboard, and I'm going to go with the San Diego Padres. Right now, they are firing. They're playing well. Manny Machado is starting to swing the bat. You know, why would they be a force come the postseason? I think their pitching staff. It can match up with anybody. They've got the horse at the top in Dylan Cease, right? This guy has electric stuff. Yu Darvish, he's on the IL. When he comes back, he can be an impact player. You know, then they've got Waldron. They've got, on offensively, they got Jurickson. Profar has been great. Tatis. This is a team also that, remember, for all the guys they have and for whoever comes back, A.J. Preller historically has gone out and made a move. And it's usually not just a little middle reliever move. It's an impact move. So expect him to play a role. And if he goes out and gets a big fish, they could be dangerous.
Yeah, checking, too, on the injury last night. Tatis and Profar, not sure. We'll check their lineups from last night and how they're doing today. Thursday, truly a special night in Birmingham, Alabama, with Major League Baseball paying tribute to the Negro Leagues and the late Willie Mays. Here's a look back at what was an emotional and historic evening here on Fox.
4 years before Wrigley Field, 2 years before Fenway Park, Rickwood Field opened in 1910.
We will celebrate the life and legacy of Willie Mays this evening to pay tribute to the Negro Leagues here at the oldest professional ballpark in the country, Rickwood Field in Birmingham. So much history here, and so many folks want to come and see this ballpark where so many dreams were started and opened the door for so many. Great Barry Bonds, Ken Griffey Jr. has joined us. Tell me right now, on the spot, what would you do against Satchel Paige?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Gone.
You lost your mind, Jeter. Gone. Hall of Famer Reggie Jackson. Special tributes throughout the evening honoring Mays and the Negro Leagues. It is a special night indeed. Alabama native Brendan Donovan crushes a home run. For the wall and gone. This game is tied as Elliot Ramos sends one the other way.
And so we welcome it back here to 1954 television. You think they had the split screen in 54? They did. We're told they did. Okay. With a dissolve in the middle. This is all authentic. The clock fixed to 8:24 tonight at Rickwood Field. And 24, Willie's Hall of Fame number. 8, the number that he wore as a Black Baron. There's a swing and a miss, and that's the ball game here at Rickwood Field, America's oldest ballpark. What a celebration this was.
Such a platform and a setting. It was captivating the entire evening, and remembering someone like Willie Mays, who was so likable. I'm sure you brushed against his greatness at some point.
Yeah, I was fortunate. I had an opportunity while playing for the Dodgers. Tommy Lasorda, tight with Willie Mays. I mean, you can find a picture where they were both playing in Cuba, playing winter ball. But we'd go over, we'd always, say hi to Willie, and he was always very friendly. Hey, Kay, take it easy on us this weekend, which I know he was just joking, but you're talking about a Hall of Famer, baseball royalty, and even as players, we are fans first, and you're thinking, wow, this is one of the greatest players. Always just very friendly, very personable, and always joking around. Love that man.
Yeah, and most of the great ones you ask, they say he is the best all-around player in the history of the game. It's a cool story there, Eric. Let's check out some other highlights. Orioles half game out of the Yankees in the AL East. Jordan Westburg, and a solo shot to give them the 1-0 lead against the Astros, who are trying to make up some ground. That's now a 1-1 game in the third. Diamondbacks, Phillies, opening inning here. Runners first and third. Bryce Harper will get a run home.
When you talk about great players in the game, he is always in the discussion. Right now, for me, he is the MVP in the National League.
Wow, all right, I like the vote, and right on cue. His 18th home run of the year, a 2-run shot.
Well, I knew that was coming. That's why I prefaced it with he's my MVP in the National League.
Yeah, it makes it 4-0, and he isn't the only one doing it for the Phillies. We talk about their pitching, but as they go crazy there in Philly, Alex Bohm hits one out.
How about the season he's having offensively, driving in runs, hitting home runs? Remember, it wasn't that long ago that the fans were booing him, and there was, oh my goodness, what's going on? But he has rebounded nicely and has become a force for that Philly ball club.
Yeah, so the Phillies try to win their 50th game of the season. As you see, this is where the Orioles and Philadelphia are behind the Yankees, who have stumbled in the recent series, but still best record in baseball with 51 victories at the moment. Be sure to catch Baseball Night in America. Most of you will see the Yankees hosting the Braves. Others will catch the Brewers and the Padres. And again, Fernando Tatis Jr. and Jerickson Profar not expected to be in the lineup after injury last night. Coverage at 7 Eastern over on Fox. Well, the Cubs with a big win against the red-hot Mets. For Eric Karros, I'm Chris Meyer. See you over on Fox in a bit. Stay tuned. Ecuador, Venezuela, group play at Levi Stadium coming up live.